my wife's maiden name was Manley. And there are only 3 houses here, and I own 2 of them. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's usually the best way to go, whenever possible. Well, that's terrific. That's kind of I like to think that's the backbone of America, really, is us folk out here, doing our thing, so to speak. And nothing wrong with the city. We just like to be able to get in and get what we need to and get back out here with some open spaces there, Roger.
Yeah, copy that. Lived in the city most of my life. Wife's mother, about 8 years ago, and never looked back. I love out here. We're retired. Enjoying ourselves.
Hey, Roger. Well, again, we've been kind of off and on the radio most of the day. Not really sure what was going to happen. Really don't know the conditions per se here yet on 40 meters. You're the first contact we've had since calling CQ, so at least I know we're getting into Kentucky. I know the last couple of nights the band has been up and down. That's usually how 40 is, of course. I guess if it was perfect, we'd get bored real quick and go do something else. So at least it does make it challenging somewhat. But we ran a portable op over the weekend, about an hour and a half northeast of us, running on battery. We call it the trifecta. We were portable, we were running off a battery, and we were live streaming on YouTube. We had a wireless router with us, so we had a great time. And so we brought the show back here to the home QTH. We can plug everything in the wall there. Go ahead.
That feels like a lot of fun. I don't get out and do much outside the house, radio or otherwise. It's nice being able to get in the air again. I lost all my antennas in an ice storm back in January. Just last week, I got one of them put back up, so I'm back in the air. Europe is really crooked a couple of days ago. Today's been kind of slow. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've been hearing that quite a bit. I'm not sure about your part of the country as well, but I think we had a little crackle this early afternoon of what I think they call it sun. But otherwise, I tell you what, we're going on a couple of weeks of this cloud every day, and here we are, the 1st of June. I thought we were supposed to be in the mid to low 80s in sunshine, but boy, it's hard to break this trend here. I don't know about you in your part of the country, but boy, I'd sure like to dry out a little bit and get a little bit of sun. Sure make you feel better anyhow there. Go ahead.
Well, we had a lot of cloud cover. We had 10 days of no rain. Everything dried up. But we got a little rain a couple of days ago, and there's supposed to be some more tonight. But not a lot of that sunshine. Mostly cloud cover. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I've watched you take the weatherman for what it is. One of the few jobs, I guess, you can be wrong and still keep it, but I guess it's their best guess, and they're still not really calling for anything worth talking about till later on in the week. But yeah, it's just it just kind of gets you down the doldrums. I can expect it February, March time frame, but gosh, here we are, 1st of June, and it's time to brighten up. But that's just kind of, I guess, how the weather is going to be. We can't control it. We just kind of work with it. Boy, I guess we could always wish of what we'd like to have. So who knows where it's going to go from here. Paul, let's say 7-3s to you. We'll see if we can make a few contacts. We got a little bit of time this evening, and we're going to see if we can play a little bit of radio and see what's going out there. Well, like I said, we're also doing our live stream on YouTube, so if you're interested in listening to the Q Show, kind of see how you sound on the air, you can go one or two ways. I got a QRZ page. I've got a link. You can click on that, or you can go to YouTube, put in my call, K0RWB, and look for the video with today's date on it. It's kind of a fun thing since we don't get much chance to hear ourselves on the air, and we really enjoy doing it. I think others like seeing it as well. 7-3s, you and yours be well, be safe. Have a great what's coming up with the week, and I'm sure we'll have a chance to talk again. Kilo Delta 8, Echo Delta November, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, Paul. 7-3s.
7-3, Randy. Thank you, Joe. And yeah, we'll probably work again now that I'm back in the air. Starting to change a little bit. Well, anyway, I'll let you work some more. It gets bright and sunshiny there for you in the next few days. Kilo 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Delta 8, Echo, Delta, November, 7-3, sir.
7-3, Paul. Take care. 7-3. We appreciate it. Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy, Kansas City. QRZ, any other stations come out with your call, please?
Kilo Charlie 9, Charlie Golf Whiskey.
Okay, Kilo Charlie 9, Romeo Charlie Whiskey, I believe there, Roger.
Kilo Charlie 9, Charlie Golf Whiskey, chasing good women.
Now, why didn't I think of that? That makes a whole lot more sense there. I like that one better there. Well, thank you for giving us a call this evening. Yeah, again, the name here is Randy. We're QTH, about 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri. Go ahead.
Yeah, I copy the Missouri. Got you up on the QRZ page here. I'm going to log you into it at the same time here. But, yeah, you got Kilo Charlie 9, Charlie Golf Whiskey here. Personal is Matt, Michael, Anthony, Thomas, up here in west central Wisconsin. Brief rundown, ICOM 746 Pro, Kenwood TS 450 running off of R7 vertical as of right now.
Well, you know, they're always changing. And your 5.9 plus in my receive here on my 7300 sounds quite good in the receive. A little bit of noise on the band, but I guess we'll expect that here on 40 meters this evening. No problem. And thank you for the first contact into Wisconsin. Always nice to hear you guys up there. Generally speaking, everybody's really got good signals and audio. I'm not sure if it's something in the air or the water, but y'all seem to do a nice job, at least in my receive there. Go ahead.
Yes, sir. Copy that one. I got you 5.9 plus. Not 20, but pretty darn close, but you're nice, crisp, and clear. But, yeah, we're been trying to get back on the air here. We've been off for a few years, so working on the equipment. The Kenwood TS 450S there, I just put on a different mic on it. I ended up getting one of those Sennheiser German-made microphones, and I got it hooked up to that TS 450, and been trying to get some reports on how it's sounding, if I need to retune it or something, but so far everything I've got, and everybody's like, don't touch it, leave it alone.
Well, it does sound good in my receive, and you were just 10 over that time, so you're coming up there quite a bit. Well, I don't know if you copied the last QSO or not, but we're also doing this live on YouTube, so if you're really interested in hearing your audio, best way to do it, just go back and listen to our QSO here. You can get to my channel through YouTube and just put in my call, K0RWB, and probably should be, well, the second one. We're only about 7 minutes in on the live stream, but it give you a good idea how you sound on the air, Matt. Go ahead.
Okay, well, yeah, right now I'm on the 746 Pro. I'd have to switch over to the other one.
That's the fun thing about being out here for a couple hours. We've got time for all kinds of stuff. We enjoy doing it. I think others do as well. So you do what you need to there. We'd be happy to help you. If not, certainly like making the contact with you anyway there, Roger.
Okay, we'll back off here a little bit, let you get some other contacts, and then we'll jump back in here a little bit. We'll switch over to the TS450, and we'll see how that other microphone sounds.
Well, that'd be great. Like I said, your setup right now sounds real good. Of course, that's a really good radio we got there. Even though it's got a few years underneath it, you know, it still stands pretty tall with a lot of stuff out there today. So I'm not knocking that at all. Sounds really good in my receive. Got her dialed up there real good. And, yeah, like most operators, you know, our shacks and equipment's never done. I'm always tinkering, adding, and what have you with mine, so I certainly understand what you're saying there as well. But, yeah, we're going to be out here for a couple hours, I think, as long as the band is holding up and there's people to talk with. But, well, you're just, you're right at the noise level. We'll continue trying to pull this out here. I can't say per se, give it to me again here, Alyssa, as best as you can there. We'll see if we can pull you out. Well, I got Alpha Delta 4, and I believe you said Sierra and then question mark. I don't know if we're going to be able to make it here at the moment. Maybe we'll give it a little bit of time and try to give us a call back there. Sorry, we're not really able to pull you out of the noise there, but got a little bit of noise on my end, and you were just right at it. So give it a few and try back again if you would, please. K0RWB, Kansas City QRZ, and the other stations come with the call, please. Kilo India 5, Papa Quebec. That sounds like Glenn. Good evening, Glenn. How are you doing, sir?
Good evening, Randy. I'm doing fine. You're 5 and 9 here, 35 miles north of downtown Dallas. 100 watts in a wire on this end.
Boy, I tell you, that seems to be real popular. 100 watts in a wire, and it sure gets the job done, no doubt. Prosper, Texas. Well, thank you so much for giving us a call tonight here in the Texas. That's the first contact in the Texas this evening. Nice copy, 5.7 to 5 and 8, and received there. Go ahead.
Roger, you must be having a couple of watts there pumping into the air. Is that correct?
Oh, we'd like to let that 40-meter dipole do the work, but truth be told, probably around 700 thereabouts. Well, you know, we bought the darn thing. I hate to let it sit there and not get any use out of it, so and we just kind of let it sit right where it's at, let it lope along. We don't want to overdrive it too much or anything or what have you. You just try to do what we can to make some contacts, and you know, you can call CQ for a while, but it's nice to have somebody on the other end there, Glenn. So this way, it's kind of a middle ground there, Roger. Yeah, we sure are. This is our backup radio that we have in another location. Well, my friend Todd calls Studio B. We have Studio A and Studio B. I'm in what they right now called Studio A minus. The primary rig, which is our Yaesu FTDX10, decided not to transmit, so it's got sent off to Yaesu. So we pulled the 7300 out of Studio B and brought it up here, hooked everything up. So we're calling this Studio A minus there. Go ahead. I've had the 7300 since about the second week of January after upgrading from an older Yaesu. There was no availabilities for the Yaesu FTDX10 at that time. We knew that was going to be the purchase down the road, so we got the rig here. It's a wonderful radio. Two things that I wish it did have was a little bit tighter receiver. It does get a little overloaded, and it does not have the external monitor feature, and it doesn't sound like much, but boy, it's sure nice to have that on my other rig there. Go ahead.
I'm enjoying mine. I've only had it for about 6 weeks. Very much enjoying it. Sometimes I wonder whether or not I would like it a little bit more if I didn't have to drill down into the menus quite as much, if it had maybe a few more buttons and knobs on it. But I'm splitting hairs. I think it's a great rig.
Yeah, it really is. I took it over the last weekend, Memorial Day weekend, and ran portable about an hour and a half northeast of here, and it worked out quite well. It's a very good radio to put in a mobile, and it's really easy and handy for portable work. When I'm doing a live stream, and on my other rig, I can actually display my radio display onto my YouTube channel using a video capture card. Well, the 7300 does not have that. The 7610 does, and I don't need two receivers, and there's a big price difference. But again, for a price point radio, this is the numbers that have been sold. Try to talk to somebody who doesn't own or have a 7300 as a primary or backup rig. They're a very popular radio, and they're very good. They line up really well. They're very easy to set up audio-wise compared to some other radios. There's a lot more pros than there are cons. Again, I'm using the radio, and I do like it. I do like the other radio just a little bit better for what it will do, but all in all, this is a terrific radio for the price point there, Roger.
Roger that, Randy, I agree with that. I was in the local HRO a few weeks ago and happened to notice the FTDX 101. Boy, is that an impressive rig, or what? I assume you're familiar with it?
Oh, very much so. We had kind of narrowed the initial purchase to a single receive radio, which would have been the 7300, the FTDX10 from Yaesu. Again, that wasn't available just yet. It had just come out, but they were just being picked up so quick. And then the other secondary was going to be either the 7610 or the 101D. I don't want the MP, the 101D. And again, I just thought with the price difference, the second receiver, which I didn't use in a prior radio, these two made more sense. And again, they're computerized. They've got chips inside that do this and this. And I'm thinking it's probably a simple fix with my FTDX10. I think it got shipped and delivered to California today, and there's about a 20-day turnaround. No problem. We'll run the 7300 until the radio shows up, and we're going to have a great time making contacts in the meantime there, Roger.
Roger. Yeah, well, with that amplifier and that antenna, I guess that there's not too much that you can do wrong. You certainly sound great on the 7300. I've got an older 746 here as well that actually never used. I'm actually new to amateur radio. Got my call sign about 6 weeks ago. But I bought a 746 used about 6 or 7 weeks ago with the intention of using it strictly as a receiver. At that time, I really didn't have, I had no idea that I would want to going and getting my ticket, although it's been something on my to-do list for 40 plus years. At the time that I bought the 746, I didn't realize that was in my near future. I bought the 746 just to kind of play around with as a receiver. I've got an old 71A ICOM as well that I purchased, about 25 years ago now, just to do some shortwave listening and play around with. Shortly after I got the 746, though, I learned of the waterfall technology that was not around when I was shortwave listening in my early teen years. Once I became aware of that waterfall and being able to visually see what's happening on that band, I knew I had to get one of them. And that's how I wound up with the 7300. That seemed to be the popular choice. Go ahead.
Oh, no doubt about it. The problem is that waterfall, actually the display in general is quite mesmerizing, and you have a hard time taking your eye off of it. So, having that tool now versus having an SDR adapter, which I had on another radio at one time, and having to go to a dongle and different things. This is in real time, of course, and it's amazing what the technology has come to. But the bottom line, the radios are designed to transmit and receive. You can adjust a little bit of both, and I think that's what makes the hobby a little bit more enjoyable. We're always kind of tinkering, working on things, and so forth. I think I give a lot of credit to the manufacturers. They're coming out with some terrific radios. All the different manufacturers are, and they wouldn't be doing so, investing money in R&D, unless the hobby was in good shape. And I really think the hobby is in great shape. The last year and a half, of course, has been trying for everybody. A lot of new operators that I've talked with here doing the live stream, even within days of getting their ticket, and operators that have been away for a while that have come back to the hobby because of the last year and a half or so. So I think the hobby is in great shape, and I think there's a lot of terrific operators out there. Glenn, go ahead.
Yeah, Roger, Dan, I'm glad to hear you say that. I don't really have a sense or a barometer since I'm new and only got my ticket a month and a half ago or so. So I don't really have a sense, a way to personally apply some kind of measurement to that. So it's encouraging to hear you say that, because of course I guess those of us that were aware of amateur radio, even though maybe we weren't involved personally, I know that I kind of thought that it was probably suffering a lack of enthusiasm amongst newcomers. And of course, hobbies like this can always so to speak. But with the digital modes and stuff, maybe there's enough there to attract the attention of the younger folks and get them interested in it as well. It's just the technology has changed a whole lot since I got in the early 70s in CB radio at that same time. And boy, it's amazing what is available now with the SDRs and all the technology. Well, listen, Randy, it was a pleasure. I enjoyed the QSO very much, and I hope we can bump into one another again. I'm going to let you work the band a little bit more, and let you log in some other folks, some other contacts. Listen to Tracy. Have a wonderful evening, and hope we meet again. God bless. KZRWB, this is KI5PPQ, and I'm aside listening for your final.
Hey, Glenn, it's my pleasure. And, well, in that case, welcome to the hobby. Congratulations on your ticket, and welcome aboard. I think you're going to find it, and I'm sure you probably have just in a short time to be down the air. You're going to meet some of the greatest people in the world here on amateur radio. That is really a terrific hobby. Give a look and a listen if you want to listen to our QSO. You know, like I said, I'm here live on YouTube as well. You can go to my QRZ page. I've got a link. That'll take you to the page, or you can go right to YouTube, go to the search bar, and type in my call, K0RWB, look for today's video. And if you'd like to hear our QSO, see how you sound on the air, probably fast forward to about 16, 17 minutes into the video, Glenn. Give a look and a listen to see what you think. We try to do this nightly during the week about 7 o'clock Central. So if you hear us out here again, by all means, give us a call back, and we'll just kind of pick it up where we left off there. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've got the YouTube channel up there, so as soon as we get done, I'm actually going to check out and see how I'm sounding there on the other end, so that makes it quite interesting. 73, Randy, we'll catch you again.
Okay, thanks, Glenn. Always a pleasure, my friend. Nice to work you for the first time, and I'm sure we'll have a chance to work again very often. Kilo India 5, Papa, Quebec, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. We'll be clear, 7-3s. And QRZ, K0WB, any other stations?
Whiskey 9, Tango Sierra Bravo.
The Tango Sierra Bravo again, please.
Whiskey 9, Tango Sierra Bravo. Hey, Randy, it's Chris here in Fort Wayne.
Hey, Chris. Yeah, my apologies. I had a cough in between there, and I may be doing it again. But, yeah, I've got you pulled up there. How you doing this evening? Oh, you playing portable again?
Oh, yeah. Everything's good practice running.
Well, you know, there's a little noise out here, and I'd have to say you're probably 5.6 to 5.7, a little bit of QSB, but still workable there. How's things in your part of the world? Well, I think you mentioned before that you wanted to do some POTA work, so maybe that's what you're getting set up. We did a portable from last Thursday until Sunday evening, about an hour and a half northeast of us, off of the Katy Trail to a Rails to Trails that runs from Kansas City to St. Louis and back, vice versa, that the state put together years ago, and ran a portable out there all on what we called the trifecta, Chris. We ran portable, we ran on batteries, and we live stream at the same time. I had a wonderful time, a lot of work, but a lot of fun in the end there, Roger. Yeah, Chris, your band has just kind of dropped there. You're right at the noise level. Just having a heck of a time there listening. That's why I thought you had to be on something else, because usually you're a whole lot stronger in the receive there. But, Yeah. It's one of them things. You never know what you're going to get down here. But I think, like I said, I think you said you were going to be doing some POTA, and I'm hoping that we'll get a chance to work you when you do that. I've had an opportunity to catch a few from time to time. If you got a date set or times you're going to be doing that before you head out, send me an email. I'm good in QRZ, and that way I know you had a good idea where you're at. Love to have a chance to work you there, Chris. Roger? Hey, thank you, Chris, for giving us a call there. QRP Portable Mobile. I'm gonna put you in for everything. Hey, always a pleasure. I love the logo, by the way, on your page. Always reminds me of Pioneer. I think that's what you did it. But anyway, hey, 7-3, be safe and be well. Look forward to hearing you out there again, Chris. Whiskey 9 Tango Sierra Bravo Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo. Randy in Kansas City. Thank you again. 7-3s. Okay, K0, RWB, QRZ, any other stations come with your call, please. Well, I thought I heard a station out there again. I do apologize. I was right in the middle of writing something down. If you would, try it again with your calls, please.
Kilo Foxtrot 0 Tango Lima.
Okay. That sounds like Richard, Kilo Foxtrot 0 Tango Lima. Hey, good evening. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing just fine. How you doing?
Well, I'll tell you what. We're on the air, making contacts. We got a little breeze blowing in. I guess everything is good there. Go ahead.
Oh, that's good. You have a good weekend?
Well, I tell you what. It was definitely eventful. We're running portable. Thursday night all the way up until Sunday night. We were running portable on batteries, and we were also running live stream on our YouTube channel, so we were doing what we call the trifecta. So, Rick, we just had a great time.
Glad to hear it. Yeah, I had a pretty good weekend myself. I had the granddaughters here, and we had a lot of fun. Played games and messed around outside. Kind of cool, but you know, it's kind of that way on Memorial Weekend sometimes. I just wanted to say, if Chris from Fort Wayne is still on, I had him at a 5/9 plus 10 down here in Mount Vernon when he was talking QRP. That's not bad for the distance between him and I.
Yeah, well, that's good. Again, I've got about an S5, a noise level, and of course it's varying. There's still weather in the area, and I keep saying that. I think I've been saying it now for 2 weeks. I have to say that I've had enough cloud cover. I've had enough rain. I'd like to get some sun and dry out. I don't think that's going to do us any good, but yeah, it usually Chris is a whole lot stronger, of course, in his regular station. I know he's running his little portable QRP. And in the beginning wasn't bad, but kind of dropped up the end. But it's really nice to know that you're able to hear him that well. And you sound good tonight, too. You're 10 over in the receive here. So, you know, again, it's working pretty good.
That's good. Yeah, that's about where I've got you at, too. But like you, I've got a noise floor of about S5 or 6. And it's a little rainy here. No lightning or anything like that. It's just kind of a slow drizzle. Been that way off and on all day. And I expect it to be that way again tomorrow. We could use some moisture. It's not like it's flooding us out or anything like it usually does this time of year.
Oh gosh, I tell you, the ground is so saturated here. It's just it's really unfortunate. I mean, you really can't even get in the yard to cut the grass. It's so soaked right now. So, I could certainly see you know, a good 4 or 5 days of little light winds and some sun to kind of help dry out a little bit. And I know some of the farmers are probably looking at that as well. For either they're trying to get in to get the hay cut so they could get it baled up, and they can't get in the fields right now because it's so much moisture. But I'd like to think one of these days it'll dry out, and as soon as I say that, we'll be complaining about it being up in the 95 degrees and above and 100% humidity, so I guess I just better take it for what it is. But we can certainly wish we'd had some things, but I don't think it's going to make any difference. We'll just have to take it as it comes there. Rick, go ahead. No, it's certainly been a little odd year, but the last 18 months have as well. So I mean, it is what it is. But we got a roof over our head, so we can stay out of the rain, and that's okay. I know sooner or later it's going to turn back a little bit on the dry side. It always does, never fails. So let's just see if maybe somebody else around the country could use some of our moisture. I'm pretty sure people could. So interesting. I thought we would have talked to sooner, but I've only shown a contact back on the 6th. Gosh, that's almost a month ago. I didn't think it'd been that long, but apparently that's what I'm showing in the log there. But you know what they say, time flies when you're having fun. And a lot of times life kind of gets in the way there. We certainly understand that as well. But we haven't been as consistent as we wanted to. We've had things that have come up in the days or early in the afternoons that kind of stopped us from trying to get on the air. But we're trying to make a point to make sure we're here. We weren't able to. Last evening we still had company. But the prognosis is to continue the rest of the week here, 7 o'clock Central. You know, again, call and CQ, make some contacts, have some fun on YouTube as well. There, Rick, go ahead.
I always look forward to listening in. Don't always get to, and certainly don't always get to say hi, but I do enjoy listening in, and when I miss out, I go back and listen to some of it on the YouTube feed. It's definitely something I like to get into, or get in on, I should say.
Well, you might find this odd, but I do the same thing. A lot of times, a lot of stations I've talked with are providing some just terrific information on all different kinds of topics, antennas and radios, amplifiers, everything in between. And, I'm only able to write so much stuff down and try to, focus on what they're saying. And a lot of times I'll go back and listen to the entire event, so to speak. And there's lots of things that I pick up. So I'm kind of like you. I like listening to as well because there's always things that I could pick up, things I wish I could do a little bit better and so forth. And we try to take a few notes in the process. So it's again, I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think other people are enjoying it as well. And as long as that continues to happen, we're going to continue to be out here doing it. So again, it's just a matter of people checking in like you do, and kind of taking a look and a listen. A lot of them are support the channel. I've got a lot of people up here on the live chat right now as well, and it's just been a great time. Rick, go ahead. Hey, Rick, always a pleasure. And, it's amazing how quickly a month can go by. It doesn't seem like it's been that long, but that's what's showing the log. But, hey, we got it taken care of, and I'm sure we're going to have lots of more QSOs as well. I appreciate you being out there and taking the time to give us a call. I love having a chance to talk with you as well. Always sound good in Indiana, no doubt. Matter of fact, that's first one tonight for Indiana, so you're first on the list. You and yours be safe and be well as always, and have a great week coming up. I'm sure we'll have a chance to talk again real soon. Kilo Foxtrot 0 Tango Lima, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, Rick. 7-3. Okay, K0 RWB QRZ. Any other stations? Come with your call, please. K0RWB, Randy in Kansas City, QRZ, any stations anywhere.
Kilowatt 7, Italy, Radio Canada.
Okay, Kilo 7, Italy, Romeo Charlie. Is that a Roger?
That'll work. In the K7 IRC, the name's Bill. I'm located just a little bit south of Denver, about 20 miles south of the... Same to you. But computers whanging at me. So, how are you this evening? We're running just barefoot and wire and Yaesu FTDX 3000 rig. So, fill me in on your end of it. And I forgot your call. Why? I'm supposed to write those things down. Yeah, K0RWB. There it is. K7IRC. Back to you.
Hey, no problem at all. You know, I forget my own call sometimes, so don't feel bad. And thank you for taking the time to give us a call this evening. I wouldn't say Denver. We got to say Highlands Ranch. I mean, you know, especially there. I mean, that is definitely a little bit on the difference. Now, if you said Denver and you lived in Golden or Commerce City, or I'd say yeah, I'll just say Denver, or Aurora, I would just say, yeah, I'll say Denver. But your Highlands Ranch, that's like a step above, Roger.
You must have looked me up. Yes, that's right. For sure. Yeah, we're actually in a couple counties away from Denver proper. So Highlands Ranch it is. You must have looked me up on QRZ.
I do. Is when I hear a call, I start typing at the same time. And as long as the logger is up and working, the internet is working, I'd like to think that it's, by the time that you get done giving me a call, I've got you looked up. But it's pretty simple as well. I'm from Colorado, so it's pretty easy to kind of know the difference anyway. We have family in Fort Collins. I lived in Aurora for about 3 years and 11 years down in Colorado Springs. So we had the Front Range covered there. Go ahead.
Well, good. You're familiar with the area for sure. So what took you to Missouri?
Well, Uncle Sam said, we want you to move, and we want you to come out to Whiteman Air Force Base. And I just said, yes, sir, tell me when, sir, and I'm gone, sir. So that's how it worked.
Yep, that's the way you got to do it. And so you are in the Air Force now, is that what I understand?
Oh, no, sir. We retired back in September of 17. 33 years was enough for me.
Okay, well, I did 2 years in the Army, so you got me beat for sure.
Oh, sure. Not at all. Serving is serving. Signing that dotted line makes no difference. I don't care if it's 2 days, 2 hours, or 2 months, or 2 years. Serving is serving. It's all the same. So we thank you for your service there as well.
Well, I was stretching the truth a little bit. It was only 1 month, 1 year, 11 months, and 29 days. I got an early out.
Well, that's okay. Well, you know, they said in the service you're serving time. It just never told me how long my sentence was.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, I spent my 2 years almost at White Sands Missile Range down in New Mexico after basic training, and that's what I did. Not too much. I carried a briefcase with an Frisbee in it. The briefcase made it look official, and the Frisbee gave me an excuse for doing some aerodynamic studies at the missile range.
Well, yeah, that makes total sense. Yeah, definitely. I can certainly understand that. Well, I closed Lowry down in 90, was it 94? I think it was, yeah. I think I closed it down in 94. And was supposed to go to Oklahoma, and they said, no, we'd rather have you go down to Colorado Springs. So I went out to Peterson, and my wife went out to Falcon, which is now Schriever. She was also military as well, and we did our time there, and then I got the call, as they say, and here we are, which is kind of the homestead. The family roots are in this area. We're actually about 12 miles from the actual homestead on the originals that came over from Germany. So we've kind of come full circle, you might say there, Roger.
Very good. Yeah, and we moved up here, not straight away, but we moved up here in 99, and have lived here since then, in the same house. My son had moved up here, and so we followed him, got an aunt and uncle and a cousin who lived here also. So there was some sort of roots here, but I grew up as a kid in Phoenix and just was looking for another change. We've moved around a fair amount, not quite as much as military people do, but did spend 8 years of my life on Guam. So there's a lot of military out there for sure. Did you ever get to Guam?
I was there in passing. Never had any temporary duty or station there, but have landed there en route to other places. I might say some maybe as colorful as Guam, maybe some not as colorful as Guam, but you don't get to see a whole lot from the ramp or on the tarmac or in base ops, so I really can't say much about it other than the couple of times we were able to to get off the plane for a little bit and get back on again.
Yeah, well, it's been good to talk to you. I just came down here to check to see what was going on after having dinner, and got a net coming on here in a couple minutes. I'm going to join, and so I'm going to say 73 to you there, Randy. Good to talk to you. I'm looking at your display on your YouTube channel, so that's kind of nice. Looks like you did a nice job of putting that together. You got good sounding audio. I like it. So anyway, back to you for a final. KB, no, I'm looking at the wrong line. K0RWB, K7IRC.
The pleasure is all mine. Thank you very much, and always a pleasure. I love to talk to stations in Colorado. I've actually made good friends with all up and down the range. So from Severance, which is just east of Fort Collins, a couple of stations in Fort Collins, several in the Denver area, Commerce City, Broomfield. There's one in Aurora, one over in Golden. Several operators down in the Springs, down in Fountain, Pueblo, the Black Forest. Again, it's always a pleasure because we've kind of traveled the same ground. We know where things are at and so forth. Always nice to talk into Colorado. Appreciate you taking a look at the stream. It's kind of a fun thing, the little addition we like to do. And believe it or not, the young generation of potential operators, I get emails from operators when they know I'm doing a live stream, and their brother or their family member or their kids say, "Hey, come watch this," and all of a sudden they're getting interested in the hobby just because they can see, the audio scope and the audio spectrum and things moving, and that's terrific. I'm not going to take a lot of credit for it because I'm not the first one who did this, and I won't be the last. But I do appreciate you taking a look and a listen, and we try to do this nightly, 7 o'clock Central Time, as much as we can possibly, between 20 and 40 meters. So if you're out again, by all means, give us a call back. Have a great chance to talk with you again. We'll say 7:30 for now. You and yours be safe and be well. Have a great week coming up. Kilo 7, India, Romeo, Charlie, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, 7:30.
K0RWD, 73 to you, K7IRC is clear.
Okay, thanks again. K0RWB, Randy in Kansas City. QRZ, any other stations? Come with your call, please.
Kilowatt Charlie 2, Echo Sierra.
Oh, let's see. Oh, that's it. Oh, yeah, I know that guy. What's that guy doing? What's that guy doing on 40 meters? You don't have a 40-meter antenna. What's going on, Armando?
I do. I have two of them, except I'm using the NFED. How you doing, Randy?
Man, I tell you what, I have to come home from camping to get a rest. I mean, we were nonstop the last 4 to 5 days, and I think it finally caught up. And boy, we had a good night's sleep last night. But I thought, hey, you know what? We're getting close to 7 o'clock Central. Let's get on the air here and see if we can make some contacts. It's nice to get back on 40 meters. A little bit noisy, but boy, the operators are here, and they're just a lot of fun to talk with there. Go ahead.
Very good. Well, I'm glad you had a nice weekend. You must have had a lot of fun. I mean, I didn't speak to you the weekend. I think I talked to you before that, but no, I was not on. So you enjoy yourself and your family?
Well, it's amazing how fast the time actually goes. You wouldn't think so, but we didn't have any formal things to do during the day per se, but we found that we end up finding things to do, and you get back for a little lunch, you go back out again, and we were on bikes, we were sightseeing. There's lots of things to do in the area. And we get back and you'd fix dinner, and I was like, well, I got about 20 minutes before I go back in the room and fire everything up and get on the air. And we spent the majority of the time on 20 meters. That antenna seemed to work a little better than my dipole, which I'm really surprised. But that little MP1 was just talking, and 20 meters was really open. So that's kind of what we did. And again, it was a lot of work to get it set up, but it was a lot of fun, and then tear down and putting things back in their places. And I know the batteries need a rest. They've been on the charger now for 24 hours. They're backup charged, but boy, I know they got to work out.
Well, okay, now you're back home. I think you're back home because I see the jersey right behind you. I think you're back in studio, whichever one it is, A or B or A minus or C minus, over.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we're. Well, thank you for that. Yeah, we're back in Studio A minus, I guess we'll call it. We got in yesterday afternoon, and then spent a few hours unpacking, reloading, putting things back in their proper places and what have you. And that ran a little bit later than we anticipated, so we weren't able to get on the air last night, but we wanted to make sure we had it tonight. And again, you're the longest contact so far up in the New York area, but we've gotten everything around here, central U.S. A couple contacts in Texas, Indiana, Illinois, Wisconsin earlier as well. Now we just got through with the Denver area in Colorado. So again, it looks like 40 meters is really good shape. We've got a little bit of noise, like usual, but I think we can work through that. So got a nice signal on you as well. You've been 5.9 plus, of course. I'm sure you're watching it on the stream as well. So I guess the antennas are working well for you.
Yeah, you've been 5.9 plus as well, Randy. 5.9 plus. Yeah, I'm not using my regular antenna. I'm just using the NFED right now, but it works just as fine. Everything's disconnected because I have a crew coming in tomorrow to do some work in my yard, and I didn't want them ripping and tripping over all of my coaxes, so I disconnected. Anyway, it's so nice to hear you, and I hope you had a nice weekend. And but I was spinning around, and there you were, so I wanted to reach out and say hello. And but I'll let you go to make some more contacts. So you take care, Randy. We'll talk soon. Kilowatt 0 Romeo Whiskey Bravo, Kilo Charlie 2 Echo Echo Sierra.
Oh yeah, always a pleasure, Armando. And I don't know if you were watching or not, but a little update on Papa Phil from Todd there. He says everything is going great, and the new kidneys function perfectly and have not had experience of any pain. And he said thanks for the prayer. So good update on Papa Phil. So I'd like to think that the ham community kind of came together to get the word out and about testing and being a donor and so forth. And I'm really glad to hear that Papa Phil is doing well. I appreciate you, Todd, putting a little note on the stream as well.
Yeah, well, I'm really, really glad to hear that. I'm glad he's doing well. Wow, that's amazing. That's really amazing, and I'm glad the community came to the rescue, if you will. So that's so really cool. Anyway, I won't hold you, Randy. You take care. We'll talk soon. And stay safe. Kilowatt 0 Romeo Whiskey Bravo, Kilo Charlie 2 Echo Echo Sierra.
Okay, Armando, sounds great. Yeah, we'll be in touch one way or the other. You know how that works. So always a pleasure. Enjoy it. And if I can get out to you, then I know the band is open. So you're a great barometer. And if the signals are going to be coming in as well as yours is, then it's going to be a lot of fun tonight. Take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Kilo Charlie 2 Echo Echo Sugar, Kilowatt 0 Radio Whiskey Bravo 73.
73.
Okay, K0 RWB Kansas City QRZ. Any other stations? Come with the call, please. K0 RWB, Randy in Kansas City, QRZ, any stations anywhere. Hope we didn't run out of stations to talk to. CQ on 40 meters. Let's see, CQ here on 40 meters, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Calling CQ, any stations anywhere. And CQ on 40, CQ 40 meters, CQ 40, CQ 40 meters, CQ 40, CQ 40 meters, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Calling CQs, any stations, anywhere. Nothing heard. K0 RWB, calling CQ, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, calling CQ 40 meters, QRZ, any other stations. Come with your call.
Kilo Bravo 9, Mike India.
Kilo Bravo 9, Mike India. Hey, Mike, how are you this evening?
Pretty good. How are you? Yeah, I was going to say the handle's Mike. Yeah, I'm in Waukesha. I think we've probably talked before. Yeah, you're giving me probably about a 10 over.
Well, I'm glad to see that it's working. I appreciate you giving us a call there. Again, as I told the station earlier, I've got the logger up. So if I type it in correctly, it's pretty quick about giving me the info. And I like to think if I get the call, I get it. By the time they're done giving me the call, I've got it typed in and looked up. So I can't take all the credit. And sometimes it's wrong, but maybe I got this one right there. Go ahead.
Yeah, you got that one right. I mean, we talked before, or you're pretty quick on QRZ. Yeah, my FT1000's working great. This thing was a nightmare radio. I bought it used on eBay, guy in Tampa, and the only place I could find to repair it was Tampa. It came, the guy proved to me it worked, and then it came up to me and it didn't work. It only received. Sent it down to repair place, came back, and it didn't work. It was completely dead. Now it came back finally, and everything works now beautifully. So we got a big case with UPS for the insurance.
Oh, terrific. Well, you sound good in my receive, and a great signal as well. You're good, solid 5.9, and the audio was really good, so I'm glad to see that everything got taken care of for you. They're terrific radios.
Yeah, back in the early 90s, I ran into a guy, older guy. I had gone to school with his kid, and I was talking about electronics. He invited me over to his house, and he had two of them. He had towers in his backyard, and I think he was just sending reading from one radio to the other, and he was more or less my Elmer, and when I first got in the hobby, that's why I got to play with two FT1000, so I figured today would be a good idea to get another one again. It's the best radio I've ever used.
Yeah, and the thing is, you're familiar with it from the past, and you know what they're capable of, and that's great. It's unfortunate you had some repair issues. I know that firsthand as well. One of our rigs is off in California right now because it decided it didn't want to transmit. We're not sure why. It's only 2.5 months old, but anyway. So I'm glad you've got it fixed, and again, you've got some familiarity with the radio, and again, they're designed to transmit and receive. They may have a few other bells and whistles, but if they don't do those two things, they make a terrific doorstop, and that's not what we're looking for, Roger.
Yeah, Roger. It's basically you don't have menus to scroll through. Everything's in front of you. It's nice and solid. It's just a wonderful radio. They don't make anything like this anymore. Well, I can't really say it's probably my favorite radio. I have a Helicopter stuff. I'm actually restoring them right now. I have a HT37 and SX111, and I just got my HT41 amplifier from Helicopters from 1962. I got that up and working.
Well, again, I made a comment once, but I'll say it again. Between the signal and the audio, I mean, the system is sounding really good in the receive. Now, we're not that far apart, of course. I'm just east of Kansas City. But again, they're designed to do certain things, and sometimes they do some things a little better than others, even than some of the newer equipment. Yeah, there's certainly some advantages of new technology and so forth, but some of these older radios, I mean, they were certainly built in a different time frame, and once they get rolling, they do a great job.
funny. Some of my best signal reports, I have a station I put together for my cabin. I got a Meritron solid state. It's an ALS 500M amplifier. And I got the power supply. It took 6 months to get that thing. And I have a Yaesu FT857. I get just the most beautiful signal reports on that thing. I just can't believe it. Shame I'm going to be taking it up to the cabin. I might want to use it every day now.
Well, again, I know I've had the 857. I had an 857 Delta. I didn't have the solid state Ameritron. I have a solid state 10-tech Hercules 2, which will run off of the power supply or 12 volt, and that's what I use sometimes when I portable. I use 2 marine batteries for that, and it's a lot of fun as well. Again, we like to make sure our antenna does the majority of the work, does the heavy lifting, as they say. And on this one here, you're running a 40-meter dipole off the side of our tower, about 38 foot. And every time I get ready to move it up a little bit higher, I'm afraid to, because it seems to be working so well. I hate to mess with a good thing, so I think for now we're just going to let it sit.
Yeah, I found a guy on eBay that makes some dipoles. Usually I can make them myself, but this was a multiple tap, no tuner needed like that. It's just, I love the thing. I never had one like this that ever actually worked this great. I don't even need a tuner or anything. I can't believe it's just flat on every single band. And I also, when I don't want to use that, I have a 10-meter dipole. So that's my favorite band. And I took the screwdriver off my truck and put it on the cyclone fence of my house and ran about 75 feet on each side of ground wire woven through the fence for a ground plane. It doesn't always work that well, but when it does, it really puts out.
I've heard of people doing that, and again, this is what I like about the hobby. We are a very creative group, and we'll figure out ways to make things work or improve upon things. I don't know many operators that said that their shack is finished or their antennas are finished. We're always tweaking and modifying and looking at different angles and things and repurposing again. So I'm glad to hear that, and it sounds like it would generally work for you with the amount of wire you've got. And again, to find an antenna you've got that's flat on all the bands as well, it just gives you that much more flexibility to do other things. And again, that's why I think it's just a terrific hobby. There's so many things and so much stuff we can do there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, KB9MMI with Kilo Zero, what is that, Romeo Whiskey Bravo. There we go. It's kind of funny, the screwdriver I got so I could do 160-meter mobile. I put it on a Ford Ranger, and I put about 40 grounding straps on the Ranger, and I was able to key up on 160 meters. I get down there, I talk to some guys from my mobile, and they're like, oh, that's great. Now get out of here. We're having a talk. It's typical 160 meters in a way, but that was kind of fun to have that novelty, though. It was a lot of work, though.
Yeah, it is. We do a little bit on 80 meters from time to time, not so much on 160. 40 meters is really our favorite band. I think overall we actually did a kind of an informal poll about a month ago and to ask people what their favorite band was, and most people did say 40 meters. 2017, the other bands are a lot of fun as well, but they're not always open, or they're not open for a very long period of time. And 40 meters, the ebb and flow, the good and the bad, generally speaking, there's always some activity on 40 meters. And, that's kind of what it comes down to. You're calling CQ, you're trying to make contacts and different contacts. That's kind of the whole idea to the hobby. And, I did hear lately that 10 meters has been open. I guess I keep missing that window. I go up there from time to time. I'm kind of spin the band, and I don't hear a thing. So maybe it's just either timing on my part or my location. But you're right. 10 meters can be a lot of fun there as well, there, Roger.
Go ahead.
Mike, are you still in there? K0RWB?
Yeah, I'm still in there. I was just going to make a comment. Last month I talked to a guy in South Carolina. I was so happy to be on 10 again. It's just you got to get in there and just talk.
and CQ and CQ till you go crazy, and somebody will come back eventually. Somebody is just as crazy as you are when you're doing that. Anyways, I'll let the other station come in there. I didn't get the call.
Well, I'd be happy to, and if you want to clear, we can certainly do that. I meant to tell you, I don't know if I mentioned it to you or not, but we're also streaming live on YouTube as well, Mike. So if you're really interested in hearing what the radio sounds like, on the air, so to speak, you can go to my YouTube channel, which is my call K0RWB, and look for tonight's video, today's date on it. At just about to say 55 minutes in, give a look and a listen and see what you think, Roger.
Well, that sounds like a great idea. I never thought of that before. I could probably try it. I use my wife's YouTube channel. It's Maui the Bengal Cat. Maui the Bengal Cat is our YouTube channel. I haven't put anything on there yet. Eventually I'm going to add some things. Get a little better at guitar again. I'm probably going to put a few things on there.
Well, I'll tell you, we weren't the first to do this. We had a lot of help in the beginning. We've been doing this since about the end of January. And again, we don't get that much of an opportunity to hear ourselves on the air. And that's what kind of attracted me to it. A good friend of mine down in Cutler Bay, Florida, his name is Alex, Whiskey 7 Hotel Uniform, has a YouTube channel. And we would check in with him over a couple of times a week. And I'd listen to the playback, and what sounded great in my headphones sounded terrible over the air. So we started making a little bit of adjustments and so forth and checking back in with him. And we got to be really good friends, many conversations on the phone. And he says, let me help you get it set up. He says, I don't know of anybody who's here in the Midwest. He says, a lot of people on the East Coast, but Midwest, I don't know anybody. And I said, fine. So he helped me get everything set up. We've got our OBS studio suite going. We've got the channel going and so forth. We're having a lot of fun with it. I think other people are as well. We get a lot of people that support the channel who check in with us on a regular basis. Again, it's kind of an additional thing to amateur radio that a lot of people, hadn't thought of or didn't know existed. We're just a small cog in a big wheel, so to speak. We're having a great time with it. And I just kind of think it's kind of a neat deal. You get a chance to hear yourself on the air there, Roger.
Yeah, Roger, that's a really nice idea. What is it? The Boat Anchor net has that also. That when you check in on their net, all their nets are broadcast on YouTube. So I just feel a little bit self-conscious if I don't have my Boat Anchor working to go on there. I don't want to go on with a solid state, even though you can. You kind of do a bit of conscientious about that.
Yeah, well, the only downside of my channel, and it wasn't really my idea, is I've got a webcam that's facing me, so you have to see my ugly face. Other than that, the information, again, we have an actual live audio scope. I have a live audio spectrum, so you can see, your voice inflection. You get an idea where your peaks and valleys are at on your audio. If you're within 3 kcs, you're a little bit narrow, a little bit wide, your signal strength and those kind of things. And, maybe those are tools that people can use to, if they want to make a change or if they like the way it is. I never tell people you got to do this and this and this. It's up to you. Again, nobody knows your voice as well as you do. So you can decide if I think it sounds great, or let me try to do this or do that. And it's live, but it records, so you can always go back later on and listen to it as well.
Yeah, that's really interesting. Just to ask a question here. Is my drive up a little too high, or my speech processor? Am I overdriving the mic at all?
No, to me it's nice and clear. I mean, there is some noise on the band, but I don't hear. It's not clipping. It's not too bright. Your audio is not bright. It doesn't have a lot of fidelity, but that's not a bad thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be. To me, it's very clear, and it's right in front of you in my receive here in my headphones. It's an audio tone that's very easy to listen to, like on a rag chew. And I'm sure if you tighten it up a little bit, it would be really piercing if you're trying to work DX or a big pileup. So to me, it sounds terrific in my receive, but I'm just one person.
Yeah, a lot of my luckings come from when I use my Heil Gold line. I got the one with the HC5 element in it. Right now I'm just using the stock Yaesu microphone that came with the radio. It was a pretty good microphone for its day.
Well, I tell you, a lot of people they discount those stock mics, and believe it or not, a lot of those stock microphones are really, really good. I mean, I've talked to several operators just in the last couple of weeks. I thought we're running a Heil mic or a Shure mic, and they said, nope, we're running the stock hand mic, and I mean, they sounded terrific. Again, if you've got it dialed in right, not too much processing, no much compression, and so forth, they'll really sing. On this rig, I'm running the 7300, and it really marries up really well with the Heil ICM microphone. There's a lot of this comparison that's out there, and they do match up really well. The only thing is you can't get on top of them. You got to be 6-8 inches, sometimes 10 inches away from them because they drive really hard. But again, each their own. That's why they make all different kinds. But stock mics work exceptionally well.
Oh yeah, so it all depends. Kenwood actually makes a pretty good mic, but yeah, your signal here is very nice and warm and just right. I guess you heard it enough to kind of adjust it in pretty good.
Well, I listen to the playbacks just about every evening after I'm done doing it live. As I've told people earlier, a lot of operators will have information from antennas and radios and amplifiers, and I can't write it all down and so forth. So I go back and try to pick things up during those different QSOs, and also try to pick up things that I need to work on this a little better. I need to make sure that I'm not overdriving it, those kind of things. And yeah, I think you kind of get to the point where when it's like, well, how do I sound on the phone? That's about as close as you're going to get. Do I sound as good on the phone as I do on the radio, and vice versa? So again, that's kind of where we're at here. Again, this radio, I have to give them credit. 7300s are very simple and easy to set up audio-wise, much better some other brands out there. So once you get them done, you just kind of sit back and let them do their thing. But yeah, we've listened to it enough. I think we've got it dialed in pretty good.
Yeah, I got the Yaesu external speaker, the SP5. I guess it all came together. The mic, the radio, and the speaker was like $1,200. So it wasn't too bad of a deal for a radio that was over $5,000 in the early 90s. So, but that really helps out a lot too, having the right speaker. Sometimes it just takes the right combination together to get it dialed in right. But I think the FT1000, you can't go wrong either way.
No, they're a radio that even to this day will stand up really tall with a lot of the new rigs out there. So I think you did yourself well. I'm glad you got the repair out of the way and it's working properly. When I first got into it, I kept looking for a Mark V. Wanted one really bad, and I just never could. Either the distance or the price was unattainable at that time, and we did go some other routes with the radios, and we've enjoyed every radio we've had. They all do something a little bit different, and we've gotten to the point now where between this radio and our primary, which unfortunately is in California on repair, will probably serve us well for a long time to come. So we'll hope that's the choice. Mike, I'm going to say 7-3, so we've got just a few more minutes here at the bottom of the hour. We'll have to shut it down, but I really enjoyed the QSO, and thank you for the information. Again, I'm glad to see if you got her up and running and really sounds good in my receive. And like I said, if you're interested in listening and see how it sounds on the air, go to my YouTube channel, K0RWB, either through my QRZ page or to YouTube itself. And give a look and a listen and see what you think. Sounds really good in my receive. I'll say 7-3 for now. You and yours be safe and be well. Enjoy the rest of your evening and a great week up ahead. If you hear us out again, by all means, give us a call back. Kilo Bravo 9, Mike India, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, 7-3s.
Okay, well, thank you for a very nice QSO, and thank you for all that information. I think your name is Randy, of course. Also looking at that YouTube channel, he said it was 55 minutes in, so kind of interesting to hear myself there. So maybe I'll come in on a few other radios in the future, but I travel for a living, so it's kind of rare to catch me at home. So just a very instant, so hopefully I'm home by the weekend so I can come on again. So 73s, and thanks for coming back to me, of course. K0 Romeo Whiskey Bravo, this is Kilo Bravo 9, Mike India.
Hey, my pleasure. And yeah, I look forward to it. If you hear us out again, give us a call back anytime. We'll just pick it up where we left off. I'll say 73s for now. Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo QRZ. We got time for a couple more calls.
India, Juliet.
Okay, I got a couple of calls there. I was able to pick out last couple of India Juliet station. Could you give me your complete call, please?
Kilo Delta 8, India, Juliet.
Okay, I appreciate it very much. Kilo Delta 8, India, Juliet. Thank you so much for giving us a call this evening. Again, here the name is Randy, the QTH. We're 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri, and we're also streaming live on YouTube. Go ahead.
Very good. Yeah, I subscribed to your channel, so I'll be getting the updates whenever you get on the air, and we'll be making plenty of more QSOs down the road. Just wanted to say hello and thank you for what you're doing, and thanks for being there. And then I'm just, you're 5'9" into Michigan, by the way, 20 over. But I don't want to take up a bunch of your time. I want you to be able to get in with some of these other people that are trying to work you. So I'm going to say 7-3s, KD8IIJ.
Okay, fine business. It looks, well, from QRZ it says Fountain, Michigan. And I'm on a different logger tonight, and it doesn't zoom in real close for me. Give me a reference that a person like me would know where Fountain, Michigan would be.
So I am approximately 15 miles from the coast of Lake Michigan, and I'm about, I would say, 100 miles north of Grand Rapids, Michigan. Over.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, okay. I've had several other contacts along the waterfront. Must be something, pun intended, in the water, so to speak. But unfortunately, or fortunately, first contact tonight from Michigan. So thank you very much for that. I appreciate you subscribing to the channel. We try to make it interesting, fun, hopefully informative as well. And we're just having a ball with it. We really are, and I hope others as well are. We enjoy listening to the playbacks. I hope others do too. It's just, to me, it's a great little addition to the hobby, Roger.
That you're following in Alex's footsteps. We need more hands doing it because it definitely helps when you're able to hear yourself and the sound that you want, the audio quality you want, where you're not relying on somebody else telling you what to do, because everybody's ears are a little bit different. Over.
Yeah, again, if somebody asks me, I try to give an honest answer, but I'm just one person, and things sound a lot different in my headphones than they do on an external speaker or even back on YouTube as well. And not only for maybe being able to check your audio, but if you're experimenting with antennas or you're making different antennas and you come on as well, you get to see what the signal report is. Again, that could give you an idea if the antenna is working properly or if you need to make adjustments. So, again, it's just a little addition to amateur radio. And I've said this before, I'm getting emails from operators who have checked in and watched a live stream, and they've told their family members, their brother, their kids, and all of a sudden they're getting interested in the hobby because they didn't realize you could put these two technologies together. So, again, I'm not trying to take credit for it, but it's really kind of neat that it has maybe spurred some interest and maybe some new operators out of it as well.
Fantastic. I really appreciate it. And I'm going to say 7-3s to you so you can work that pile up, KD8IIJ.
No, my pleasure. Thank you so much. And again, we appreciate your support there. And by all means, feel free to come back anytime. We'll have a chance to talk with you again. And I anticipate many more QSOs to come. Kilo Delta 8, India, Juliet, a Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, 7-3s.
Kilo Delta Zero, Whiskey Alpha, November.
Kilo Alpha 8,
Zero, Whiskey Alpha, November.
Okay, the Kilo Delta Zero station again, please.
Kilo Delta Zero, Whiskey Alpha, November.
Okay, appreciate that very much. Kilo Delta Zero, Whiskey Alpha, November. Bill, you and I have worked before. Oh gosh, back in April. Well, nice to hear you out there again. How are things going for you tonight? Go ahead.
Well, doing great. I was actually down in Longview, Texas, and worked a portable station down there. We had quite a conversation, And I'm back here in St. Louis, Missouri. You say you don't get in here very often, so I figured I'd give you a shout.
Well, you know, again, you know, sometimes that's far enough, or sometimes it's not far enough. But you're pushing right at 10 over, so it tells me that the band is. And I've been already out to New York, so the band is really open, short and long, and you're just as crystal clear. Nice to hear you this evening. It's a great signal, and the audio is nice as well.
Well, thank you very much. You complimented on the audio. I was running barefoot. Right now I'm using it. I was using a barefoot ICOM 746, and I was also using at the time a G5RV. Now I'm using an off-center fed dipole for 40, 20, 10, and 6 meters, running 100 watts, and you're 5 and 9 here.
You know, I've said it before, and I know my good friend Armando in New York has one as well, but that 746, that is such a terrific radio. You know, and I understand, you know, it's got a few years under its belt, and they've made some, you know, other radios on Fort in the Pro Series and whatever, but the 746 has just been a terrific radio. I really think it was ahead of its time when it came out, and we were actually in a different manufacturer group at the time. And it's like, you know, why would I want to change all these other cables of what I have is working and so forth? But we had lots of operators in our local area that ran that radio, and always commented about how easy they were, the information that was provided. And it's nice to hear them out there, and yours sounds good as well.
Well, thank you very much. I don't want to hold you too long, but like I said, I talked to you down in Longview, Texas. It was actually on my birthday. It was on April 26th. And I was at about the 2-hour, 8-minute mark when we had our QSO, and you said you wanted to see what it sounded like from St. Louis, so this is my OCF. You can see my setup on QRZ.com, and great talking to you, Randy, and I really appreciate it. I don't want to hold you too long, but just wanted to give you a shout-out from St. Louis. Over.
Well, I appreciate that, Bill, and yeah, I've got it here in a log on our contact. Of course, I don't have that video portion of it, but I've got you here in the log, of course, and well, that's very cool. You know, we were portable the last from Thursday over to Sunday. We were, well, I'm sure you heard it. We were the Katy Trail, and we were just north of Boonville, Missouri, up in the little town of New Franklin, which is about 50 yards off of the trail. That's where the campground was, and we were running portable there. We called it the trifecta. We were portable, we were on battery only, and we were also live streaming YouTube, so we had the trifecta. We'd had a great time on 20 meters. 40 meters didn't work for me, but 20 worked really well. So, again, nice to hear you in Longview, Texas. Nice to hear you in St. Louis as well. Again, we don't get into St. Louis very often, or I'm missing the station or something, but you sound terrific tonight in the receive.
Well, hold it, Randy. I got to get to bed because some of us have to work tomorrow. So 73 is my friend. Good luck, and let you know. Greetings from Gateway to the West St. Louis, Missouri. 73 KD0 WAON to KD0 Red, White, and Blue. Have a great one.
Okay, Bill. Hey, thank you so much for checking in with us. Appreciate you taking the time. Be safe and be well. Have a good evening, and look for you again. Kilo Delta Zero. Whiskey Alpha November, Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo, Randy in Kansas City. 73s.
73.
Okay, K0RWE, QRZ, any other stations?
Kilo Delta
Let's see, we got a Kilo Charlie 8 station again.
Kilo Charlie number 8, Lima Alpha Portable.
Okay, I love those. Kilo Charlie 8, Lima Alpha. Glenn, yeah, another one we worked there. I like this new logger. It tells me when and where. April 28th, and portable. Go ahead.
Yeah, Roger. We're in Berlin, Ohio. We're up here in Mackinac City, Michigan right now. And heard you on there. Thought I'd say hi again, Randy.
Well, I'll tell you, your signal's not bad. It's 5.7 to 5 and 9. Yeah, it sounds great. Again, we just finished our portable operations Thursday through Sunday, so we've been there, done that. You know, it's a lot of work, but boy, it sure is a lot of fun. And yeah, I'm glad to see it's working for you.
Yeah, I love this little setup. I've been playing all week up here, getting ready to head back down to Ohio tomorrow. But I've been having a lot of fun. Just like I said, I heard you in here tonight. Thought I'd say hi and surprise you again there.
Well, I'm glad you did. Hey, what's the antenna you're using on the portable setup?
It's called an Eagle 1.
Oh, interesting. So is it self-supporting, or do you have to string it up into a tree, or how's that work?
It's actually mounted to the ladder on the back of the RV, and it extends out. It's a collapsible antenna.
Oh, that's very cool. Very cool. Well, again, it's working in my receive. I mean, we're not a huge distance apart, but I mean far enough and close enough for 40 meters to work. And again, the audio is got a lot of punch to it. It's very bright, coming right through all the noise. And of course, that's what you're hoping for. At least I was running portable, because you're running batteries, you only get so much, and the antennas you only got so much. But yeah, I'm glad to see it's working for you tonight.
To get back to some other folks here.
Okay, Glenn. Hey, thanks, buddy. And have fun out there. Be safe and be well. And as you motor back there, both hands on the wheel, my friends. Want to hear you back at the home QTH. Kilo Charlie 8, Lima Alpha, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you, Glenn. 7-3s. Okay, QRZ. I think I heard the last go-around, not much, it was the Kilo Delta station. Was there still a Kilo Delta in there? Try it again?
Yeah, roger, sir. Kilo Delta 2, Tango Charlie Mike. Fine business. Hello, sir. Good evening.
Okay, Jamie. Hey, thanks for hanging in there. The other station just kind of nipped you at the wire, so to speak, and we were able to get a little bit more of the call there, but we got you that time. Kilo Delta 2, Tango Charlie Mike. Thank you so much for giving us a call here this evening. Again, the name here is Randy, the QTH. We're about 35 miles east of downtown Kansas City, Missouri, and we're also live streaming on YouTube. Go ahead.
Yes, Roger, KZORWB. I appreciate that live stream. It was fantastic. First time I've ever seen that, and pretty cool to participate in that. I enjoyed hearing you chat about your portable operations. That's what I love to do, and I prefer to be portable than any place else. I'd rather be in the woods than in my right mind.
Hey, you're right. The thing I found my first go around portable quite a bit actually was during 2016 during the National Parks on the Air program, and we had it down to a backpack. We had a couple of LiPo batteries. We're running an 857 Delta Yaesu, and then our antenna was an MP1 by Super Antenna, which is a manual screwdriver, and it all breaks down to about 12 inches. You throw it in your backpack and off you go, and we even had a lot of little 2-foot tripod. And with the ground radios, we were really successful running 100 watts like that, and sometimes not even that to save the batteries. But yeah, portable's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but boy, it sure is a lot of fun. You can make a lot of good contacts there, Roger.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, no, I really enjoy it. I enjoy being out and about. Well, I appreciate you picking up my call. KZORWB. To get back to making some more contacts and getting live on the air. Like I say, I much appreciate you picking up the call. Kilo Delta 2, Tango Charlie Mike. And I appreciate the hospitality, folks. KZORWB. It's anything you please on your final.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for the contact. And it looks like Dryden, New York is what shows in QRZ. So thank you for New York. So yeah, I'm glad to see the band is open there. We got in there earlier with my friend Armando, but you didn't know how long it was going to hold up. So hey, again, thank you for taking the time to give us a call. I do appreciate it. Be safe and be well. And by all means, give us a call back again if you hear us out there. Kilo Delta 2, Tango Charlie Mike, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, Jamie, 7-3s. Okay, we'll be clear with Jamie, QRZ, K0RWB. Any other stations? Come with the call, please.
Kilo India 5, Kilo Yankee Hotel.
KG5, EVI.
Kilo India 5, Kilo Yankee Hotel. Hey, David, how are you doing this evening?
Doing well. I was just, while I was listening to your previous conversation, trying to find you on YouTube, because you said something or on your QRZ page that says you've got a YouTube channel, so I was trying to find you there, over.
Yeah, the channel's under my call, K0RWB. Either I have a link you can click on my QRZ page, or you can go right to YouTube and go to the search bar and type it in, and then you'd look for the video with today's date on it. I think it'll also say live. thereabouts. And I think currently we're an hour 25 in, pretty close to that. Go ahead.
Roger that. Well, you're coming in very, very nice here in Oklahoma. I've had a lot of chats with people in Missouri, but never had anybody confirm. If you would, I'm going to put you in QRZ if that's okay, and if you would please to confirm the contact. Over.
Oh yeah, be happy to do that. Not a problem at all. We've had some issue with LOTW recently. I'm not sure why, but we started doing a little bit more on QRZ as well, and I think it may be something we're going to take a little bit more look in the future. But be happy to do so. Hey, real quick question there. I've got your page pulled up, and your main picture there. It looks like you're trying to hold a rock up. What was the QTH for that rock you were trying to hold up?
That was in the Garden of the Gods in Colorado. My wife and I went to Yellowstone and swung back through there on a vacation. It's been a couple years ago, of course, but they call it Bouncing Rock. And I had several of the pictures I thought I had on my QRZ page, but for some reason that was the only one that showed up, so I just left it. But yeah, it's interesting. You get the right angle on it, and it looks like it's about ready to fall over, but it doesn't go anywhere. Over.
Well, I thought that's what it was, but I was going to let you tell me the correct answer. We used to live about 12 miles east of there, so we lived in Colorado Springs for 11 years, and I used to ride my bike up and through the road there in the Garden of the Gods. I thought that's what it was, but the picture, the rock looked a little bit more red than I remember and so forth, but I'm glad to see that's kind of what it was. It is a terrific area, and, you know, we have a lot of high winds in that area, and I'm surprised it hasn't blown it over, but it must be anchored pretty well.
Roger that. Yeah, it's a beautiful area. It's beautiful. Yeah, we enjoyed our trip through there. I got on the radio and made several contacts in the area. I didn't do a parks on the air, but it was still, I had my little handheld and thought, well, I'll just try to see if I can reach somebody. And up high as we were doing really, really well. Over.
Yeah, it's amazing. I went up with my little 2-meter handheld and went up to the top of Pikes Peak, which is 14,210. And I did a simplex 5-watt call to a guy just outside of Houston on 5 watts 2 meters. So it's amazing what altitude will do for you on amateur radio.
Roger that. When everything is just right, it's amazing, and it's so enjoyable. I enjoy it anyway, but it just makes it that much more enjoyable. As far as the logging goes, I do QRZ, I do Logbook the World. Just lately, because of several contacts outside the country, the DX, they've all started requesting the QRZ, so I got in the habit of that. Over.
Yeah, and I've used LOTW for years, and matter of fact, I had to redo a certificate, I think, the latter part of February, and everything was working just fine, and a friend of mine started getting me interested in a little of FT8. And for some reason, the software I'm using that's supposed to roll over a grid tracker into LOTW, now I can't get into LOTW, so I had to send him an email today, even though the certificate shows open and not expired. And hopefully it's just a matter of a couple of clicks or something on a computer to get it back up and running. So in the meantime, we're going to be using QRZ, so again, we'd be happy to confirm that contact for you.
I appreciate the contact. Look forward to having QSO with you later on. Look forward to meeting you on the log. Randy, you have a wonderful night. K0, Red, White, and Blue. This is Kilo India 5, Kilo Yankee Hotel. 7-3, my friend. Nice to meet you. Have a wonderful evening.
Yeah, thank you so much. And again, if you want to give a look and a listen to our QSO there on the channel, you can listen to them all, or you could probably fast forward to about an hour 26, 27 in. That would be pretty close where you and I started, and you get a chance to hear your audio and your signal strength on the display there. So give a look and listen, and feel free to come back anytime. We'll just kind of pick it up where we left off. Appreciate you taking the time to give us a call tonight, though, David, and hope to work you again real soon. Kilo India 5, Kilo Yankee Hotel, a Kilowatt Zero Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, 7-3.
7-3.
Okay, K0 RWB QRZ. Any other stations? Come out with your call, please.
Uniform Kilowatt 9 Radio Mike.
Kilowatt 9 Radio Mike. Boy, terrific audio. Hey, Charles, how are you this evening?
Oh, I'm doing well, doing good, Randy, and I go by Chuck here, and you're sounding really good here. You're a good 30 over 9. We're just southeast of Indianapolis here in Greenwood, Indiana, and some good short skip, I guess, here tonight. So turned on the radio, and I was surprised that the static crashes weren't knocking me out tonight. So you got one of the better signals on the band. Really outstanding audio there, too, by the way, and really interested there in that YouTube video you're doing, their live stream. That's pretty cool. So I kind of just tuned in on that there. But anyway, you're doing a good job. Over here, I'm on an ICOM, an old 7800 here, and we got the AL82 going about a KW out there to the big wire Yagi antenna here, beaming due west. It's about 50 feet high. Anyway, over to you there. I'm on hold. I think there's a whole lot of stations in there still calling you there. K0RWB from K9RM.
Well, I tell you, you get the gold star so far this evening. That's a 25 over signal in my receiver. I got two different ways to look at it. I can look at it on the meter from the YouTube player or on my radio, and they're both showing well over plus 20. So congrats for that. And it looks like I've got two contacts that you and I've had on 40 meters. One back, actually both in 2016, April the 1st, and Christmas Eve. I have a feeling that was probably when we were doing the Christmas train with our friend Bob K8NY. Him and I were doing the Christmas train, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. We had a little recording of a choo-choo that we would hit once in a while on the air as well. So nice to see we've had a couple of contacts, but it's been a few years. Nice to hear you back in again. And let's put it this way, your audio on my receive is impeccable as well there. Go ahead.
Okay, well, I appreciate that. You know, I'm using a Heil Pro set here. Probably, I don't know, probably had it almost 10 years, I guess. Can't remember when I got it. So anyhow, but yeah, your audio is fantastic there. I've heard you on there, actually, heard you on here recently many times, but never really gave you a call just to listen a little bit, and then usually have to do something else, head out of here. So anyhow, I thought I'd try to get in here and give you a shout. It's funny, I don't have you in my log from before. I've had this logging program probably, I think, since around 2016, but I imported a bunch of my old EQSL logs and all that, but don't have you in there. This is the first time I've got you in the logbook. So anyhow, I won't hold you there. I'm going to go ahead and head off here to bed, but it's really good to hear a great signal on the band like this, especially like I said, solid 30 over, really excellent audio. So anyhow, thanks for putting this on there, and I'll listen in there on the YouTube a little bit, see how it sounds over that way on your end. That's pretty cool. Can do that there. So anyway, you have it pleasant evening over there, Randy. We'll catch you hopefully again soon there. K0RWB. This is K9RM.
Well, I thank you very much. And usually, as I'm getting the call, I'm typing it on my logger, so it usually pulls the information up really quick. And then I click over to the actual QRZ page. And if I'd have done that before I'd said Charles, I would have said Chuck in parentheses. So my apologies for that. I'll try to do better next time. Well, I appreciate you said you've heard us out here before. We try not to make a fool of ourselves, but sometimes that just comes naturally. But in the end game, we're trying to make contacts, learn a little bit I hope other people do as well. We're having a great time with this, and I think others are from the feedback we get. So as long as everybody's enjoying it, getting something out of it, we'll continue doing it. And we appreciate you taking the time this evening to give us a call. And yeah, again, terrific signal, the audio as well. Again, listen to it yourself. It sounds like an FM station, and I'm not trying to throw flowers, but that's just how it is in my receive. I call it the way I see it. You and yours be safe and be well. By all means, give us a call again. If you sound like that all the time, yeah, call in anytime. We'd love to hear that. We'll take care. We'll see 7-3s. Kilo 9, Romeo Mike, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, Chuck, 7-3s.
Thank you, too, Randy. Take care. This is K9RM Clear.
Okay, K0 RWB in Kansas City QRZ. Any other stations come with your call, please?
KG5 EVI.
The KG5 station again, please.
Yes, KG5 Echo Victor India.
Almost there. Kilo Golf 5 Echo question mark.
Yeah, Echo Victor India EVI.
Okay, my mistake here. I was gonna. You don't want to know what I typed in. That's okay. I've got you in there now. Hey, thanks again. You can tell I'm having a good time here. Thanks for giving us a call. Yeah, again, the name here is Randy, just outside of Kansas City. And I do appreciate you taking the time to give us a call this evening. Don't see a contact in the log. The logger says, Michael, Mike, how do you go by that down in Texas?
Yeah, either one works for me. My mother calls me Michael. My wife calls me Mike. And Michael when she's disappointed with me, so either one is fine. But, yeah, great to hear you. I just kind of stumbled across here, and I tuned into your YouTube station and went ahead and subscribed so I can kind of follow you out there. This is pretty cool. I've never seen this live like this on the radio. I know it goes on, but it's the first time for me. Anyway, location here, I'm about 60 miles southeast of Dallas in close to Gun Barrel City. Probably shows up Maybank on QRZ, Texas. And I sit out here, we live on the lake, Cedar Creek Lake. And we're retired and just enjoying life. Matter of fact, I just put up this 40-meter dipole up about 60 feet about a week ago. So this is probably my third contact on this thing. So I'm glad to see that it's working good. Brake here's a Yaesu 991A, basic stuff, no power or anything. But anyway, back to you, Randy. And I know there's a lot of people, so I won't hold it. This is KG5 EVI, over.
Well, I tell you, again, it's 100 watts on a wire, and it works terrifically. I mean, it really does. Your signal's been 10 over, and we're not that far apart. I mean, for 40 meters, it's probably pretty average, but that's a terrific signal in anybody's book, any time, any day, any part of the night. So certainly take that. Again, you've got a good rig, though, too. That 991 is a terrific radio. It was a little bit out of my reach at that particular time, and we had to take a couple of steps down with the Yaesu product. And but I've heard a lot of them out there. The 1200 are terrific radios. 3000 is a great radio as well. I hear of those from time to time, and we wish we could get them all, but we can't. But I will say this, amateur radio, 2 is 1 and 1 is none, so it's always nice to have backup equipment. That always helps. But, yeah, I can tell you that you're having a hard time there on living on the lake and retired. I do feel for you. I mean, I could certainly kind of send, some well wishes your way if that'll help you at all. But it sounds like you're really struggling, but I do appreciate you taking the time to call us tonight there. Go ahead.
Yeah, we're truly blessed to be able to live out here. We've been out here since about 2012, and we just love it. My wife is still working. She probably will retire in the next year or so, and then maybe things will get even more interesting. Listen, I won't hold it. I know there's a lot of people that want to call you, and I'll let them get in there and have a shout with you. Anyway, take care, Randy. It was a pleasure meeting you, and I hope to hook up with you again. It was a great keep, though. Take care, and we'll talk to you later. I'm looking for the call. I know I have it out here, K0RWB. This is KG5 EVI, signing off and clear.
Well, the pleasure's all mine. I thank you for taking the time this evening to give us a call, and congrats on the antenna. You got it again. I think the setup is working great. at least here in my receive. We try to do this nightly during the week, 7 o'clock Central. That's the intention. Again, if you subscribed and you hit the notification bell, then again you'll know when I go live. And by all means, we'd love for you to call back in any time. We try to work stations best we can. We're not the best at pileups. We don't do 5/9 QRZ, and we can't do 15, 20-minute QSOs. We do try to be respectful of everybody's time. Try to give everybody equal time as well. And I think that's just the way, to handle it. I think that's the best way for everybody. But thank you so much for tonight, and look forward to working you again. Again, you got a great signal, and next time around, I'd like to hear a little bit more about the lake and so forth, because we like to get our boat on the water, and we could talk fishing, I'm pretty sure. So in the meantime, you and yours be safe and be well. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and have a great week coming up. Look for you again. Kilo Golf 5, Echo Victor India, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, Mike. 7-3s.
Yeah, 7-3s, Randy. Enjoyed it. I'll be back. Take care. KG5EVI.
Okay, we do appreciate it. This is Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo, QRZ. Time for one more call. The Kilo 5 station again, please. Kilo 5.
Kilo 5, Whiskey Sugar Whiskey. Greetings to you from Euless, Texas. Name your Sam, Sierra Alpha Mike. Back to you, sir.
Yeah, Sam, we worked the 22nd of April. I think, matter of fact, even after hours, we talked for a long time, if I remember right. Well, you had a terrific sounding station then, and you sound good tonight as well. Well, thank you for giving us a call, Sam.
Thank you, Randy. Good to hear you. And trying to figure out what you guys are talking about, but still can't figure what it is there. Back to you.
Well, were we talking about the YouTube channel, or are you talking about antennas and radios? I got a little bit of everything tonight.
Oh, my. I sort of gave up talking about antennas and radios. That's what every ham talks about every day for the last 100 years. In fact, ever since I became a ham way back in the Stone Age, I've listened to QSOs about feed lines and antennas to the extent I think I know everything I need to know about feed lines. And as a result, I don't even talk about them anymore. They're back to you.
Well, I'll tell you, my first go-around with the radios was a couple of paper cups and some string, and that's how I got started in radio. As a matter of fact, I still got that radio set.
I have an affinity for gadgets. That's what brought me to a ham radio. And not just electronic gadgets, drones as well, gadgets that I can take outside and put a few rounds down range. All type of gadgets. Cameras, oh yeah, just about everything. Computers too. Back to you, Mr. Randy.
Well, if I remember right, the last time we talked, you had just been retired or just recently retired. Is that right?
Yes, sir. I retired on my birthday on March 1st, and I've been trying to enjoy it. And the rain makes it much easier for me. It's been raining here in Texas for quite a while. And it's so easy to sleep late, look outside, and then reschedule all of the projects for another day. They're back to you.
Yeah, I really thought when I was going to retire, I'd have all this much free time, and I actually think I'm busier now between projects around here and projects I've been wanting to do for years than I ever was working, but I just don't get paid the same. That's the downside.
Oh, yes, I understand. Well, the work around the house is never done, especially if you're married. And you also know that Ham Radio Shack is constant work in progress there. Back to you.
Oh, yeah. I was just going to say, especially mine. Mine's never done. We're actually down a radio. We had to send our Yaesu back to California. I think it showed up there today for repairs. It's only about 2.5 months old. It decided not to transmit, so we had to kind of reconfigure my friend Todd Reese calls them Studio. This is Studio A- now. We had to take the Yaesu out. We've got the ICOM 7300 here in its place. which we took out of the other studio downstairs. So we had reconfigured some things and had to get some different cabling and so forth. But the bottom line, we're back on the air, making contacts and just having a good time there. Go ahead.
Well, first let me hope that you really did survive the transportation to the repair shop without needing any additional repairs. I am equally worried about my amplifier that I just purchased. I do hope it survived that trip by the I don't know if it's people or the FedEx. I can't remember which, but I think that both not very reliable in terms of placement. Things very gently when they load and unload. Anyway, I forgot what else I was going to say, so back to you, Mr. Randy.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, that was 20 over that time, too. So please don't turn it up any louder. You're already killing me in the receive here, Sam. I think it's the same way last time. Well, again, the technician I talked to on the phone was very nice and was very knowledgeable. We tried a few things over the phone to see if maybe it was just a snafu on my end or what have you, a different type of a reset and different things, and it just didn't appear as though it wanted to transmit any power. And they even paid for the FedEx shipping back to California, and he says, well, it does have a 3-year warranty. And I said, well, I'm glad to hear that. I'm just a little surprised that we'd have an issue after 2.5 months, but again, it's computer parts and what have you, and things can fail. I totally understand. And I said, look, if it needs to be repaired, fix it and fix it right. I'm not in a rush to get it back and then it breaks down again. I said, I have another radio we can use, but let's just, take our time and what have you. And he said turnaround usually runs about 20 days, so that'd be the end of the month, and that's certainly fine with me. Again, like I said, we're down, but we're not out. We are on the air. We're just not able to do some of the things the other rig would do, but it doesn't matter. We're still making contacts. And we get to talk to you again, Sam, so it's all good.
100% receiving that, Randy. Well, my microphone is a studio mic, and it picks up everything, even that my wife is next to me, it's capable of picking up. And I'm trying to figure out how to reduce the sensitivity, but I think I'll get around to it sooner or later. Anyway, your radio back to the repair shop, that's an indication that definitely it has to be on warranty. Because all the hands I know, they like to tinker. They would never like to send anything back for repair without them taking a shot at it first. Back to you.
Yeah, again, I would like to think that they certainly know what they're doing, and it was shipped back not only in the Yaesu box, but it was also shipped back in the shipping box that got sent to me from HRO. So it was double packed. So all the materials and the packaging material that it got to my house, I kept, even all this plastic packaging and so forth, and this is exactly how it got shipped back out. So again, I'm not too worried about it. I know that they'll make right of it, or they wouldn't be in business. So I know they take care of their customers, and whatever it takes to get it repaired and get it back, I'm sure we'll take care of that as the time goes on. Sam, I don't want to hold it. We've reached the top of the hour, which is about the end of our time that we have, but nice to end on a nice, strong signal as yours. Nice to hear you out there again. Again, it's been about a month or so I guess we were probably due. But I do want to thank you for taking the time to give us a call tonight, Sam. Don't know how long you've been waiting, but again, we can't get to everybody. We try to do the best we can, but unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't get everybody covered. So you and yours be safe and be well. Always a pleasure to hear you out there. Hopefully, we can do it again real soon. And you and yours be safe and be well. Enjoy the rest of your evening and the week coming up as hell. I know you'll find something to do since you're retired as well. I know I will. So I'll say 7-3s for now, Sam. Thank you again. Kilo 5, Whiskey Sierra Whiskey, Kilowatt 0, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thank you again, Sam. 7-3s.
Thank you, Randy, and be well. Stay well. Be safe. Stay says 7:30. This is Killer 5, winter storm warning in Euless, Texas. It is 9:05 and all is well.
Okay, thanks again, Sam. Kilowatt Zero, Radio Whiskey Bravo. Thanks, everybody. We'll be clearing QRT.